Well, hey there, church. Another Tuesday tune-in. Hey, just an opportunity for me to share a little about what God's been saying, reflect a little bit more about what was taught on Sunday, and also just to give you a chance to have some announcements about what's going on at Orchard Church. So today I want to talk about squirrels. What? Squirrels? Yes, squirrels. Squirrels crack me up. I think they are one of the funniest animals ever to just watch. Because when you watch them interact, they just scurry around trees and they just crack you up. This recently, Amanda, Mac, Malin, and I went to Fort Bragg, and there's all these ground squirrels that were just, like Yosemite squirrels or park squirrels. They're so used to people that they just kind of walk up to you and stare at you asking for food, and they just make me laugh. But one of the things that always amuses me about squirrels is the way they store their food and how they do it. I remember one time we were doing our garden at our apartment, and we were digging through our garden boxes, and we found just a bunch of acorns in just this pot where a squirrel was storing his acorns and his nuts for the winter. And it just made us laugh because we're like, man, his squirrel has just been doing business and just taking care of stuff and storing stuff in our garden. Did you know that squirrels lose 25% of their nuts to other squirrels or other birds? That's right. When they store their nuts for the winter, 25% of it gets stolen by thieves. In fact, squirrels know this, and so they will go through any way to try and deceive thieves from stealing their nuts and pretend to bury their nuts in a certain spot to draw attention away from where they're actually hoarding all of their winter supply. And also, did you know that they don't always find their nuts or remember where they are, or they don't dig them up? And so you end up finding just oak trees and other nut trees just popping up places because squirrels just forget to dig them up after a while. And it just is funny to me because I just think about squirrels and just their attention and just how focused they are on storing up so much that they end up not even getting it back because it gets stolen, or it just rots and goes away in the ground or becomes a tree because they don't get to it later. And I think, hey, that's interesting because Jesus, when he was teaching this last Sunday in Matthew 6, he says, don't store up treasures here on earth, where moths eat them and the rust destroys them, and where your thieves break in and steal. Store your treasures in heaven, where moths and rust cannot destroy and thieves cannot break in and steal. Wherever your treasure is, there the desires of your heart will also be. For squirrels, their desire is to have as much food as possible for the wintertime. That's in their nature. That's how they were made. That's in their biological, creative way that they take care of themselves for the winter. And I think for us, we tend to want to do everything we can to treasure our own lives, to treasure what we think we need, to a point where sometimes it could lead to an excess of stuff that prioritizes our lives, to feel like we have to have all of these things in our life in order to be happy, to be fulfilled, that our treasures, all of the things we've gained, all the things we put value in, give us worth. But in reality, they don't. Oh, I hear the fire truck, here it comes. They don't, because God is your true treasure. Jesus is your treasure. And with that, he says, store yourself treasure in heaven. How do we do that? Well, Jesus says that we must be his followers, that we must be ones to serve, to love, to say, you know what, I'm not going to focus on my own needs. I'm going to look to the needs of someone else next to me and love my neighbor and pour out love for those who may need to know that God is looking after them and God is with them. And so Jesus says, if you want to store treasure in heaven, you have to re-examine your life and put God first. Not stuff, not your job, not the struggles you face in your life, not to just focus so much on taking care of yourself, but realizing that Jesus is going to walk with you and you're going to trust him to give you all that you will ever need. In fact, this Sunday, as we go further into chapter 6, we're going to find out more about what Jesus is teaching about trusting in him. So be encouraged this week. Try to examine your life and your soul and just say, God, am I squirreling? Am I doing these things where I'm just storing up so much stuff whether it's emotionally or physical stuff or whatever it may be spiritually? Am I just storing all of this stuff that's getting in the way of you? And so just pray about that and ask God to help remove that so that he can be the center of your life, so you may serve him in abundance that comes from the love that is just overflowing through Christ. So be encouraged this week. I'm excited to see you all this Sunday, because this Sunday is our all-church luau. That's right. We're going to celebrate by having a Hawaiian-themed potluck. Please, if you're able, bring a dish to share. The Sunday school kids, they've been going through a lesson series about family and how to serve family. And so they just want to celebrate by holding a luau. It's Hawaiian-themed. And they're going to have some activity for us to do as a church, just to help us get to know each other and love each other and have conversation with each other. As well as I heard there might be some games like cornhole, just opportunities for us to connect and have a lot of fun. So I'd love to have you come. That's this Sunday, the 14th, after church. Like always, we always have our Bible study on Wednesday nights. We have our parent group, Paratime Playtime, on Mondays at 10, as well as our Alcoholics Anonymous groups. And also we have a men's Bible study at the Orchard House too, on Monday nights as well. So love to connect with you, love to see you, but I will see you Sunday, if not sooner. God bless. Take care.